Coming up on the Suze Orman Show, are you somebody who puts everybody else's needs before your own, especially when it comes to your money? Do you know that you have more money saved for your children's education fund, their investments, than you do yourself? I've had a hard time understanding this one. And you ask me, can I afford it?
I want to buy a pair of golf clubs and golf membership.
There's all kinds of expenses. You are aware of that, yes?
Well...
Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I want to show you how when you put other people's needs in front of your own, especially the women out there, you tend to do this more than the men, but when you put other people's needs in front of your own, it can be financially devastating. We're going to go right to our first guest tonight, Lisa, who is a prime example of this. Lisa and her new husband tried blending families, and it just didn't work. Let's take a look, and then we'll talk to Lisa.
Hi, Susie. I was divorced with 2 sons when I married Sergey, a divorced father of 4. All 8 of us moved into a big house together and thought that love could make our blended family work. However, after living under the same roof for a couple of months, it became clear to me that Sergey and I had very different parenting styles, and our families couldn't live together after all. So I bought another house, and my children and I moved out. Now I have 2 houses. My original house that I turned into a rental when I couldn't sell, and the house that I now live in. Between the 2, I sometimes pay as much as $4,000 a month in mortgages. Help!
Well, now. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Susie.
Oh, so let me just get this straight. Are you still married to Sergey?
We're still legally married, yes.
All right, you're legally married, but you live in separate houses. Are they even close to one another?
They're about 8 miles apart.
And how often do you see Sergey?
I see him pretty much on a regular basis. He's a pilot, so when he's flying, I take care of his kids, and they come and stay at my house. And he does a lot of activities. Our kids are really close, so we're constantly interacting. We just don't live in the same house or share the same money.
So you keep all money separate. How come you do that?
Well, we had both come out of a divorce before getting married to each other, and we both ended up paying our ex-spouses a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so before we got married, we had probably some emotional ties to the money, and both of us were self-sufficient and had good jobs. So we just decided to, we actually got advice out of one of your books that said, go on a percentage base. So that's how we started when we first got married.
But, all the books and everything I've ever done, I said keep money separate and percentage absolutely true. I never said keep lives separate, because I'm just a little confused here. If we look at the finances, you are a principal. You make approximately $70,000 a year. Your husband is a pilot. He makes $265,000 a year. Now, that is a lot of money. Between the 2 of you, you are bringing in $335,000 a year. You, because you're married, are being penalized because your income tax that you have to pay on this $70,000 is being ranked with Sergey, your husband, so that both of you, it's not hurting him because he's going to be in the same income tax bracket no matter what, because he's making so much money. But your income is being added to his income, so that you are actually paying a seriously higher income tax bracket than you would if you were single. So what is the advantage to being married?
Well, our families are pretty tied together, and we have had the advantage of having medical coverage. So that part's been nice, too.
So at your school, you wouldn't have insurance for yourself and your children?
No, I would.
You would. So you just told me a lie. you kind of fibbed to me. You are not married to him for his insurance coverage. You have your own insurance coverage. Your kids would have been fine. You'd be paying less income tax on $70,000. But even though you are paying more income tax, you right now, we're going to get into your finances in a second, but really, I've had a hard time understanding this one. You are seriously suffering. You cannot meet your monthly expenses, so much so, my dear Lisa, that you've had to take in a renter to the tune of $450 a month. You still don't really have enough money to have anything put aside for yourself. You're barely making it, yet your husband is making almost 4 times the amount of money that you're making. You're paying more income tax, which leaves you less money, but he is not helping you on any level financially speaking. Why is that?
Well, he helps on some things that are small, but I don't know exactly. We just have always had separate finances.
You've had separate finances, but joint taxes. So
Well,
you don't have.
We filed separately last year.
So if you file married finally separately, you're not allowed to do a Roth IRA if you make more than $10,000. It makes absolutely no sense. So I understand that you're married, and I just have to ask, is he leaving? If he were to die in an airplane crash, he's a pilot, it happens. Has he left you any of his insurance money?
I believe that my name is on his policy.
But you don't know for sure.
But no.
I'm just asking you to think about, maybe, is there a reason that you are legally married, and is there more liability in you being married than there is if you just were separated and lived separate lives like you're currently doing, and given the ages of these kids that you're going to be doing for a long time? Let's talk about your finances. Here's my real problem. You care more about everybody else than you do yourself. I will go through your numbers with you in a second, but there's one thing that Suze Orman does that's different and better than any other personal finance expert in the world, and that's I look at who you are more than what you have. And one of the key indicators that really worries me about you, my dear Lisa, is that you know that you have more money saved for your children's education fund, their investments, than you do yourself. Do you know that?
Yes, I do know that.
Why do you care about everybody else more than you care about you? And before you answer that, I just want to tell you why I'm also asking that. When you decided to separate households from your husband, you owned a home that you could have very easily moved back into. But you didn't want to move back into this home because you had told these people that they could rent the home, and you didn't want them to have to move because you cared about them more than you cared about yourself. So you immediately go out and buy another home. You could have just gone on and rented one, but for whatever reason, you buy another home. Few months after you've done that, they trash the home. Your renters trash the home that you could have moved back into. They stopped paying you any money on it. They caused you physical and financial harm. These people that you cared about more than you cared about yourself. So Suze Orman is asking you, one woman to another, why do you care about other people more than you care about yourself? Where did you learn to do that?
Well, that sounds like a conversation for Oprah too. I don't know. I don't know what to answer, but I agree with you, and I have been thinking about that over the last year. And looking back, I felt sorry for the renters. They were in the military, and he kept getting deployed, and they were crying. I did ask them to move out, and then they were crying, and I felt bad. And you are right. I placed other people's needs above those of mine.
I find it coming back to me that people are interpreting it the wrong way. They hear me sign off at the end of the show, people first, then money, then things. And for some reason, women always think when I say people first, I mean everybody else. And I don't know how many times I have said, especially for the women who are listening, when I say people first, I mean you. I mean, you have got to be able to save yourself and take care of yourself before you can do anything else. If you put other people's needs in front of your own needs, or other people's desires and wants in front of your own needs, then you're not able to take care of yourself. And when you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your children. You really can't take care of anybody. I ask you to seriously think about that. Let's talk finances for a second, but I got news. Until you fix that problem, the rest doesn't even matter. But financially speaking, here's what concerns me a little bit. When you have lack of self-respect, you just do stupid things with money. You just do stupid things. You buy a house when you could have rented a house. You have 2 cars currently that you have. Why does one woman with minor children need 2 cars?
I was doing one to get better gas mileage in the summer.
So to get better gas mileage in the summer, you're spending $225 a month car payment for years to come, 3 more years. You've already been doing it for years when you don't even drive that much. So I need you to sell one of those cars and get rid of it. All right, next, you have $11,000 in art. Why did you buy the art?
I actually bought the art when I was in college. I put myself through college, and I took out a second job to pay for the art.
Right. You know, when I was younger, I bought art. And then I went through a very difficult time, and I had to sell the art. And I was able to sell the art for $10,000, and thank God, because it saved me. This was years and years ago, obviously. I loved that art, but I didn't love it enough to not have any money to do anything, so I sold my art. I'm asking you to think about that, and I'm asking you to sell your art to pay down the credit card debt and everything else that you have going on. Next, life insurance. You have your 2 younger children who are minors, and I say this over and over again to you out there, everybody, please listen to me. Minors cannot inherit money. So you cannot have minors as a beneficiary on an IRA, a life insurance policy. They can't inherit it. To be responsible to these children, you need to set up a living revocable trust and do all those things that I've been saying to you forever. Your home insurance and your automobile insurance need to be combined to one company so you can save money. I think you should sell your rental. Your FICO scores are already down the drain. If you can sell your rental as a short sale, I think it would be essentially a very interesting time to do it. But we really have to be careful about doing that because now that you're married, you're not financially destitute. So you, because it's a rental, would owe income taxes on the difference between what you owed and what you sold it for. If you weren't married at this point in time, you would pay less income tax on the amount of money that you are earning, and you would be able to do a short sale, be financially destitute, because you're insolvent, you owe more than what you have, and you would have to pay income taxes on the short sale of your rental, something for you to think about. What would you say if I said to you, I could find an extra $1,000 a month for you? Would you want me to be able to do that? Would $1,000 a month more change your life?
Yes.
All right, here's how you can do it. Pay less in income taxes, number 1. Number 2, if you just simply stopped eating out, you now eat out to the tune of $500 a month. Lisa, you don't have $500 a month to eat out. When you eat out, do you eat out with your husband?
Sometimes, but he usually pays when we go out.
All right, but besides going out with your husband, and he usually pays not all the time, he should be paying 100% of the time, I'm sorry, with him making $265,000 a year. He is your husband, right? So you cannot afford to eat out anymore. You don't have the money. You have $500 a month of eating out. You spend $225 a month on videos and all other ridiculous items as I've gone through your expenses. You have got to stop that. You also spend $30 a month on gifts. You can't afford that. Why do you have 4 cell phones to the tune of $250 a month?
Well, I have one for myself, one for each of the kids, and I was helping an exchange student last year and got a phone for her.
All right, well, guess what? You can't afford to help an exchange student. There is no reason that you should have a phone bill of $250 a month. You can get a family plan with phones for your kids just so they can call in case of emergency if that's what you feel you need. You can get that for under $75 a month. That is a huge savings. You're also putting $210 a month away in 529 plans for your children. When you don't have an emergency fund, you don't have anything for yourself, you're just going to have to stop that. And you, therefore, will have saved over $1,000 a month just doing those little things. Do you think you can do that?
Yes, I do think I can do that.
All right. Here's the next thing. Do you think you can do? Think you can talk to your husband to ask him to help you? Do you think you can have a conversation with him saying, honey, we are married if we're going to stay married, and your kids are going to be able to go to college, your kids are going to be able to do this. Do you think you can help me put money away for my kids? Do you think you can help me get out of credit card debt? Do you think you can help me in any way so that I can be okay? Now, if he says no to that, if he tells you that you're not on his life insurance policies, his trust has left everything to his kids, that you're not in there at all, Lisa, I'm asking you to do 2 very heavy things here. I'm asking you, number 1, to figure out why it is that you don't love yourself more than you love everybody else, even people that could care less about you, like your renters. And number 2, I am asking you why you are staying in a relationship, married, so that you have to pay more income tax on your money, and even if you file separately, you can't do certain things like retirement plans that you should be able to do, and why you are married to somebody possibly who isn't willing to help you. Now, many people will say, but Susie, she hasn't asked. Don't tell me that a husband cannot see how you are suffering and how he hasn't offered to help you. Something, in my opinion, is wrong. It is just wrong, wrong, wrong. And you are a strong woman, and I'm asking you to think about it. Gregory, you're watching the Suze Orman Show in 2007, because if you had been, you would not have made this mistake. And later, when wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
I want to buy my girlfriend a beautiful diamond engagement ring. We shopped for it together, and this is the one she wants, and I want to make her happy.
$24,000 for an engagement ring simply to make your girlfriend happy? Are you kidding me? Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Okay, everybody, let's take some phone calls. Let's go to Karen in California. Go for it, girlfriend.
Hi, Susie. My mom bought a house 10 years ago with her boyfriend, and she lives on a modest fixed income, and her boyfriend's been pretty careless with his money. And now, because of a stroke, he's completely incapacitated and can't contribute his share of the expenses. I'm one of 5 kids. We all live on different coasts, and some of them decided that we should all contribute equally to cover my mom's expenses until she sells her house. I want to contribute, but I don't make as much as my other siblings, and I don't feel it should be at the expense of my own financial security and welfare. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the subject.
How much does Mama need?
She needs about $1,000 a month to cover her expenses.
All right, and how much do you make per month? Take home.
Take home about $3,300.
And just out of curiosity, your other 4 siblings, do they make $3,300 a month take home, or did they make $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, the whole range?
Well, I would say the whole range. I mean, definitely I would say I'm probably make the least, and then it sort of goes up from there.
From there. So here is what I would do. This is making finances a family affair. And forever on the Suze Orman Show, as well as in my books, I've always said, do not divide expenses on a dollar amount. Divide expenses on a percentage amount. So percentage-wise, you're each paying the exact same percentage of something, so the effect is equal on all of you. So here's what you do. You are to get your take-home pay and your other 4 siblings' take-home pay. And you are to add up each one of your take-home pays so that you know on a monthly basis what is the family, all 5 of you, what are you taking home per month on a take-home basis. You are to divide that into the $1,000 of expenses that mommy needs. You're going to come up with a percentage. Whatever that percentage is, that is the percentage that each one of you pays of your take-home pay into the $1,000 pot. For you, it might be, let's just say you did all of that. All of you are taking home together $33,000 a month. Let's say that's true. You divide that into 1,000. If you divide that into 1,000, the percentage will be 0.03. You would pay 0.03 of your $3,300. So in that case, you would be paying $99 a month. Your siblings would pay 0.03 of whatever they're taking home. If they're taking home $9,000 a month, that would be $270 a month. But if you add those all up, it will come to $1,000 a month to pay for your mom. But each of you are paying the same percentage, even though you are paying different dollar amounts. And that is how you would equalize it out. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I'd like to buy a villa in Italy, probably in Tuscany.
You're funny. Also,
I would love to send my son and daughter to a month-long language camp next summer.
this show is very easy. You tell me what it is you want to buy, and you show me the money. If you can afford it, I'll tell you. But if you cannot, you better listen to me. What do you want to buy?
Beautiful diamond engagement ring.
Month-long language camp.
Golf clubs and golf membership.
Have you ever wondered if you can afford what you are about to buy? Well, if you aren't wondering, you should be, and that's what this segment is all about. You call in, you tell me what it is that you want to buy, I ask you a few questions, and I tell you if you can afford it or not, as I drop my pen. Anyway, let's go right to Stephen. What is it that you want to buy?
I would like to buy a used Segway. A few years ago, my wife and I went on a local Segway tour, and we fell in love riding them. I'm an elementary school principal, and I want to use it at school for special events. And I'm not your typical principal and love to do wild and crazy things. I think the kids would love it.
I love that. You know, once I was giving a talk at this huge convention center, thousands of people there. It's somewhere in California. And I came in on a Segway. I was a hit. I love those things. So, boyfriend, show me the money.
Well, we make about $8,500 per month with
Yes.
expenses of $6,750. Our home mortgage is at $280,000. We have $56,000 in car loans, $34,000 in savings, and $526 in retirement.
And you want this simply to get around and to show the kids what's possible, correct?
Absolutely. I love doing fun things for the kids.
All right. So for the kids, and this is really for the kids as well as you are denied. And the reason that you are denied is you have you need $54,000. That's what you need in an emergency fund in case something were to happen to you. But all you have is $34,000, so you are $20,000 short. So Steve, don't do that to yourself. This money is better spent so that you can have money to segue if you need to into a different type of situation in case something were to happen. But more important is this: there are many ways to have fun. But I think it's really important in today's culture that kids know how to have fun without having spent money on something to show them how to have fun. Because then they want a Segway, they want an iPhone, they want this, and they can't afford it. So let's raise kids knowing how to have fun without some gadget. That's what I think. So again, denied. Anyway, Frank, what do you want to buy?
I want to buy my girlfriend a beautiful diamond engagement ring. We shopped for it together, and this is the one she wants, and I want to make her happy, but I don't want to break the bank either.
Oh, so $24,000? $24,000 for an engagement ring simply to make your girlfriend happy? Are you kidding me?
I'm that kind of guy.
All right, well, let's see what kind of financial guy you are. Show me the money. And I can tell you from the outset, I hope I don't approve you. Go on.
All right, I take home $4,700 a month. I have expenses of $3,700 a month. I have $218,000 left on a 30-year fixed mortgage. I have $100,000 in liquid savings. I have $157,000 in investments, and I have $113,000 in retirement.
How did you get so much money at 31 years of age?
I know, I work hard, Susie. I work hard.
You work hard when you're making whatever, but I hate this. I hate this, Frank. Approved. Because you have the money to do so. I don't know how you have so much money at 31 years of age. You work hard for it. If you want to waste $24,000 on an engagement ring for your girlfriend, wife-to-be, because you're just that kind of guy, okay, you can afford it. I'll never understand it, but you can afford it. Jeannie, what do you want to buy?
Hi, it's Jenny.
Oh, Jenny, I'm sorry, sweetheart.
That's
Go for
okay.
it. All right.
I would love to send my son and daughter to a month-long language camp next summer.
All right, and it is $8,000 just for, how long is that language camp for?
1 month, and
1
that would be
month.
for both of them.
You got it, girlfriend. It's easy. This show is very easy. You tell me what it is you want to buy, and you show me the money. If you can afford it, I'll tell you. But if you cannot, you better listen to me. Show me the money.
Okay, we take home $7,100 a month combined.
Yes.
We have expenses of $4,515 each month.
Great. Yes.
We have $114,000 left on a 15-year fixed mortgage.
Yeah.
And $13,000 HELOC.
Yeah.
And we have $14,500 liquid savings and $453,000 in retirement.
Here's my problem. Denied, first of all. Here is my problem. Is that there are two things that I look for. Number one, I obviously look to see if you have any credit card debt. You don't. However, you have expenses, and the expenses that you have, an 8-month emergency fund totals $36,000. You only have $14,000 liquid. Obviously, if you're going to pay for this or whatever it may be, you're going to take it from your savings or your excess money, but you need to have that excess money going to increase your emergency fund. So your kids should stay at home until you have enough money in emergency funds, God forbid, if anything happened, so that you can really take care of them. Am I speaking your language anyway? Alan, what do you want to buy?
I'd like to buy a villa in Italy, probably in Tuscany.
You're funny. So it's $1.2 million villa in Tuscany. Have you ever lived in Tuscany?
No, I have not, but we visited, my significant other and I have visited Italy, and we just love it. And I'd love to learn Italian. I've heard that to learn another language is to have another soul.
Why can't you just rent a villa in Tuscany?
Well, certainly you can do that for a week or two or a couple of weeks or maybe a month. But if you have a place that's your own, you'll tend to go there more often.
Are you positive about that?
Yes.
Are you absolutely positive about that? I have a home in South Africa. I've had a home in South Africa for a long time now.
And you go there?
Not that often.
Well, you should sell it.
I should. You know what? You have been approved. That's a good thing. I'm going to sell it. Anyway, no, I'm approving your advice to me. I'm actually going to take that advice, boyfriend. All right, show me the money.
Okay. I have $11,700 in monthly income, which is $4,000 or so in Social Security and pension, another $5,000 in real estate income, which comes from small condos that I rent out, and $2,500 in interest and dividends from an investment portfolio. My monthly expenses are $7,335, of which $1,500 is for a rental. I have very little debt, $11,500, which is a small mortgage on one of the small condos that's still remaining. They're otherwise wholly owned. Savings, I have $95K in liquid savings, $4.2 million in investments, which includes about 1/3 of that is the real estate that generates the $5,000 a month in income, and the other 2/3 is in various investments that generates the $2,500 a month in interest and dividends. Now, these resources have to last me my whole life.
Yeah, and you have $730,000 in retirement as well.
Yes, that's right.
How are you going to pay for this?
It would come out of the investment portfolio.
All right, so you would literally take $1.2 million out of your investment portfolio and pay for this outright, correct?
That's right.
And this is something you really want to do, correct?
Yes.
You've thought about this deep into your soul, and $1.2 million you are going to put into Italy at this point in time, correct?
Yes, and we live there part-time of the year, invite family and friends to come over and stay with us. And Susie, you'd be invited as well.
Approved! Approved! That's it. We have it on TV now. Since you've invited me, I'm going to come. Buy it, boyfriend, because guess what? Believe it or not, you really can afford it. I hope you have a great time. All right, Ellis, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my call. I want to buy a pair of golf clubs and golf membership. You know, I'm starting out in my career, and I just think this will be good for me to, you know, be able to participate in a lot of the office activities and everything.
So,
and plus, I want to learn how to play as well.
Right, but the truth is, it's not just $800. You have golf membership, you have golf clubs, but then every time, even if you have a membership, every time you play, you have to pay, you know, for the fees of it. There's all kinds of expenses. You are aware of that, yes?
Well, I think I am aware of that, but I think I'll have enough to be able to handle that.
Yeah, but that's not in your $800, is it?
Yeah.
You did, it's in the $800?
No, I didn't, Susie.
You didn't, did you? Because golf can be very expensive. The tee fees can sometimes be, you know, you have to pay to tee up. Could be green fees, whatever they are. I'm not a golfer, right? But it can be $20, $40. You have to buy little balls because you lose the little balls. Then you got to buy the shoes because you need the shoes that have those little cleats, so you do that. Then you got to have a right little T-shirt because you got to look cool when you're out there. It can't look like you don't know what you're doing. So golf can be expensive. Show me the money.
It can. Well, Susie, I have $2,400 in take home a month.
Yes.
My expenses are $1,436 monthly. I don't own a home. I pay $565 in rent per month. I don't have any debt. I have 10K liquid savings. I have $1,000 in investments, and I have $5,000 in a retirement account.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, I was really just going to try either from savings, or I was just going to lack something else and try to just pay for the golf clubs. But I haven't really factored in how I was going to pay for the extra accessories that you mentioned.
All right, denied.
Oh.
And the reason that you're denied is you're $6,000 short of an emergency fund. I said earlier, it's really important. You have not factored in the green fees. You have not factored in the clothes, the shoes, the balls, the this, the that. It's too expensive for you. Oh, just go have fun with these people and don't play golf with them. Do you hear me? Until you have more money and want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment. Oh, you can be. Oh, trust me, you can. Just go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find the information you need to know there to come and play with me right here. Up next, Brandy asked me,
Susie, how am I doing? I need to know if I'm on track with my retirement. It's all I think about. It even affects my relationship with my boyfriend.
I wouldn't listen to your boyfriend. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. So, do you know what really upsets me? Oh, yes, I do get upset by things. I get upset when you ask other people questions and they pretend like they know the answer and you believe them. You ask them, do I have enough money to retire? Should I do this? Should I do that? And they don't know what they're doing. You need to know that you are asking somebody who knows how you are doing, and that's what this segment is all about. It's called How Am I Doing? You ask me what you want to know. I look at your finances, and I seriously tell you how you are doing. Brandy tonight. Oh, Brandy is smart, because she has come to me, and she is saying, Susie, how am I doing?
Hi, Susie. I'm 28, and I know I have a long way to go, but I need to know if I'm on track with my retirement. It's all I think about. It even affects my relationship with my boyfriend. He says I'm saving too much in retirement and not enough in a liquid account. Susie, how am I doing?
Well, Brandy, before we begin, want to know what I was noticing as I was watching that video?
Yes,
You love to change your hair color.
that is true. I do.
I'm like going, what color hair? Is she blonde? Is she brunette? Is she this? Is she that? So you're doing pretty good when it comes to your hair color. All right, as I always start, girlfriend, if you were going to give yourself a grade, A being the highest, what would you say?
I would give myself a B minus.
A B minus. And why is that?
Because I'm really worried that I still don't have enough in retirement.
All right, so you think you don't have enough in retirement. Your boyfriend, does that mean you're going to marry him?
Yes, we actually got engaged earlier this month.
Ah, congratulations. All
Thank
right.
you.
Your husband-to-be better sign a prenup with all the money you have, but that's besides the point. So that your husband-to-be thinks you are saving too much money?
Well, he thinks I'm saving too much for retirement and not enough in a liquid account.
All right, so let's look at the money, and I will be the one, not your husband-to-be. I will be the one to tell you how you are doing. Brandy, you are a fabulous 28 years of age, currently single, but not for long, but you never know after I finished with you. Your income is $3,200 a month. Expenses are about $2,000 a month. Your retirement, at the fabulous age of 28, you have $95,000. $95,000, I repeat that to everybody, dollars in retirement accounts. You have $10,000 in an emergency fund. You have a home worth $190,000, and all you owe on it is $115,000, $2,000 a month, as I said, in expenses. And why are your expenses so low? You don't have any credit card debt, student loan debt, car debt. You don't have any debt. Again, you have almost $295,000 of assets, and debt is about $115,000. Girlfriend, if I were going to grade you, I would give you a solid A. A solid A.
Yay!
I have to tell you, I think you are doing so magnificent, it's not even funny. Let me break down your report card to you. Your FICO scores, which are in the very high 700s, I'd give you an A+ on. Your debt, you really don't have any debt. I'd give you an A+. Your real estate is debt, but fine, you're doing great with that. Your retirement accounts, I'd give you an A+ on that. The only thing that you're a little bit lax on is your estate planning. You don't really have the necessary documents, the will, the trust, and everything that you should have, especially the living revocable trust. So there I give you a C. Otherwise, I would have given you an A+ across the board. Now, here's what I would tell you. I wouldn't listen to your boyfriend, husband-to-be. And why is that? Currently, you put your money in a Roth IRA for retirement and a Roth 401k, correct?
That's correct.
And especially in the Roth contributory account, any amount of money that you originally contributed into that account, you can take out at any time, income tax-free, as well as no penalties, regardless of how long that money has been in there or what your age is. Got it?
That's great to know.
So that can serve as a emergency fund or as a different emergency fund for you besides your liquid money. In the meantime, it's growing tax-free. You're able to do things with it. Your Roth 401k can serve the same way. It works a little bit different financially speaking in terms of how much you can withdraw. But all of this is you are building money tax-free for your future. Now, what does your life look like years from now, 40 years from now, if you continue to do exactly what you're doing? Do you know that if you continue to put in your $400, just $400 a month to your Roth, your $200 to your Roth 401k, because that's currently about what you're contributing, the $100 a month that your company puts in for you, even if you don't increase it at all, when you're 68, you are going to have close to, where's my number here, $4.5 million. Just in your retirement account. So what your retirement looks like at the age of 68 is you have a $4,679 a month pension, $1,600 in Social Security, close to $16,000 a month tax-free from the money in your Roth IRA accounts, because it's all will be tax-free. So you're looking at $23,000 a month to live on at the age of 68. Do I think you're doing great? I do. The other mistake, however, I do think that you're making is that you are getting a refund of $2,000 to $3,000 a year. Uncle Sam does not pay you interest on that $2,000 or $3,000 a year. So if you just increase your exemptions, you could get an extra $150 or $200 a month right now. So that would help you fund your retirement accounts, your Roth and everything, to make sure that you're contributing to the max so you have even more money put aside for your future. Like I said, you're a very wealthy woman. You're going to be very wealthy. Might want to think about a prenup, girlfriend. I have said over and over and over and over and over and over again on the Suze Orman Show, do not, and I repeat, do not. Welcome back, everybody. It's last call, and we are going full circle. We're going to go to Gregory in New York, and you're going to see once again how sometimes helping others just might be hurting you big time. New York, we're right here with you, my dear Gregory. Ask me your question.
Hello, Susie. Susie, what I did was in 2007, I co-signed a loan for a friend's boyfriend who owns a lawn service. He's starting to default on the loan. I'm the co-signer. It's affected my credit tremendously, and I want to know if there's anything I can do. We're trying to get a loan for our daughter for college for this year, and this is dragging me down.
Yeah, I wish to God I could say to you, my dear Gregory, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that. But guess what? There's nothing we can do. I have said over and over and over and over and over and over again on the Suze Orman Show, do not, and I repeat, do not co-sign a loan for anyone, including your children, unless you can afford to make the payments easily, and you should be the one making the payments. They should pay you. You should make the payments, because once they default, they don't tell you, and it goes on your record. Gregory, were you watching the Suze Orman Show in 2007? Because if you had been, you would not have made this mistake. I am so sorry, sir. There's nothing to do other than pay the loan, and you're going to have to pay it because they're going to come after you for it. All right, that brings us to the end of another hour of the Suze Orman Show. That's the bad news. You know what the good news is? It's jacket season. I can't wait to see what kind of new jackets I get to wear this year. But until next week, there's only one thing that I really want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it is this: people first. That means you, everybody. You take care of yourself. Then money, then things. Now you stay safe.